Hey, folks, let me ask you a question. Have you ever fantasized or had the idea about building your own apartment building from scratch? Not just as an investment, but a place for you and your family to live? Well, today's guest, Steven Petrov, has done exactly that. Not only that, he did it at a very young age 24, I believe, is when he got started with that. And he accomplished that with, I think it's a 24 unit building in the amazingly beautiful country of Bulgaria, where he is zooming in from Sofia, Bulgaria. Welcome to our special guest, Stephen. Welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and pretty good introduction and quite spot on. Just want to add one thing: it was actually 26 unit apartment building, but with
I took
everything else,
two units off for you. There you
two
go.
units,
26 is better
you
than
took them
24.
away, but it's all
You
good.
got him back. So tell us, Stephen, what you've got a very interesting background because you're from Eastern Europe originally. Well, no, I think you're born in the States, went back to
Yeah,
Bulgaria, came back to the States. You've been back and forth.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, just very briefly, about your backstory and then what sparked real estate.
Gotcha. So real quick, I was born in Seattle, Washington, but my parents are Bulgarians, right? And we moved back to Bulgaria when I was really, really young, like a baby. And I grew up in Bulgaria. That's where I grew up. I played soccer for 16 years, actually,
Wow.
and I was a pretty good student as well. So I received an offer for an athletic scholarship to go back to the U.S. to University of Dayton in Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
full ride scholarship to play soccer there, right? And I went there, played there 1 year, got a lot of injuries in the meantime. My story is crazy when it comes to sports, so I don't want to go way
Yeah.
too deep
Well,
into that, but
we'll keep it on real estate, but yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. And then and long story short, I moved to Denver, Colorado. That's where I graduated from. From university with majoring in finance and international business. And
nice.
then I decided to go back to Bulgaria, for a summer just to, see my parents because I was absolutely by myself in the US.
Mm.
Like I was 18 years old, 4
Wow.
years. So
That's
no,
lonely, man. That's
yeah,
lonely. Yeah.
it was kind of tough, not gonna lie, but it really made me the man I am today, and I cannot, I would not change anything. All right,
Yeah.
about the whole experience, and basically I got back home, and back home I wanted to see if I was able to find, I would be able to actually find something that would allow me to grow and develop as a professional and build a business because I've always been an entrepreneur at
Yeah.
heart, and I've always, wanted to do something for myself, for my family, make a difference and change our lives, so to
Yeah.
speak, right? And I started working, a couple of corporate jobs because obviously my background's in finance, and
Well,
but
plus you got the English down pat. I would imagine you're a very hot commodity in
yeah,
Bulgaria. Yeah.
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, the thing is though, the way I actually got into real estate was really, really interesting and really special for me because we all know what happened back in '08, right?
Mhm.
And actually the crisis hit here in Eastern Europe, especially in Bulgaria, in the mid 2009. And there was a delay in the actual uh you know
Crash.
crash that took place, and but then it took a lot longer for the market to start to recover.
Got
uh
it.
you know uh all the way up until 20, like 14, 15, 16. It was years and years after the market in the US had already made its uh change in trajectory. We were still like just
Yeah.
off by miles, right? So the thing is, why am I saying that is because my parents, my father actually had a development company.
Oh, really?
He's a lawyer by
Mm-hmm.
trade, and that's what he does. But he's also entrepreneurial as a person, and basically he from 2002, 2003 to 2008. Right, he had his own construction company. He was working on many different sides. Pretty,
Building what
good.
kind of properties? Apartment buildings,
Well,
commercial
apartment
properties?
buildings,
Yeah.
mostly apartment buildings, yeah, and few commercial buildings as well. But
Mhm.
not. I mean, he didn't
So
have like the
you kind of
biggest.
grew up around that then.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. That is
Yeah.
true. I was seeing him like interacting with, going all the sites, and then, I
Mhm.
was with him obviously, from time to time. So that really kind of, made an impression to me.
But did the downturn must have really affected your father then, right?
Yes,
Hmm.
correct. And basically, that was actually, one of the main reasons why, our family was in a kind of difficult financial position,
Yeah.
because, as I said, he had a few different projects ongoing, and then, this whole thing happened, and then it took so long for things to actually start to recover.
Right.
And then in the meantime, the whole political situation in Bulgaria has been just ridiculous. I mean, I don't want to go into that, but
No.
the ruling party, has been just doing whatever they want, and
So a lot of corruption, would that
a
be fair to
lot,
say?
yeah, a
Yeah.
lot of corruption, a lot of, unregulated stuff, a lot of
Got it.
money under the table, and all of that has, just exacerbated the problem, right? Made it even worse.
So
And
why would you decide to get back into that business then?
yeah, that's exactly where I'm going to, with that. So we had our house,
Yeah.
right? We had a very, very good house, very beautiful property that we built for ourselves in one of the nicer neighborhoods in Sofia. My father built it. He always dreamt of living in a house. So while he was having the construction company, he built the
Yeah.
house
When
for
times are
us.
going good, you built yourself your dream home. Your dad
Absolutely.
built his
Yeah.
dream home.
It,
Got
it,
it.
it was a 500 square meter home.
Well,
Like,
that's
I don't know
big.
how that, yeah, it's pretty big, and,
Yeah.
very, very good. However, it had a mortgage on it. And then
Mm.
obviously throughout, it didn't originally, it didn't. However, due to the situation with the business and all that other stuff, and then eventually it did, right?
Yeah.
And then this thing started to get worse because the business started to get worse, and then interest rates started to go up, and then it just got us, it was crazy.
Hmm.
So basically what happened was, you know, I felt, I mean, for a few years, I was supporting the family, helping with everything I can in terms of, financially, right?
Yep.
And as a grown person, I was like 22, 23, but still I was making money,
Hmm.
not crazy money at that time. Later on, I started making more, thankfully. But even with the little that I was making, I was trying to help and contribute, and just make some type of a difference,
Right.
positive one. But I saw that it's not. I mean, we're not
It was
making any
the
progress.
mortgage turned into a money pit.
Yeah, it's just not making any progress. We would be
Yeah.
going and doing this forever and ever and ever, and unless we just chunk in a whole bunch of
That
money in it.
that's what mortgage means, right? Until
Yeah,
death.
man. Yeah, just don't. Man, I'm so happy we're out of this, but
Well,
we'll get
okay.
to
So
that.
yeah. So
Yeah,
so what did you do? You got this mortgage weighing you guys down. Then what?
yeah. And then I was, because this happened over a course of a few years. So I changed
Yeah.
my job from the original corporate job that I started. I started working for a finance company, and I was started making, a lot more money,
Yeah.
and I had more savings laying around. And I talked to my father, and I was like, listen, we got to do something. Like, we can't just keep doing what we're doing. Is just the definition of insanity, right? The same thing
Yeah.
over again. So we got to change. And I decided, and I told him, listen, we are going to actually tear down our house. We're gonna
You're
demolish
going to
it.
tear down dad's dream home.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna demolish this thing, right?
Okay.
We're gonna find other properties to
Uh-huh.
actually move the mortgage over, right? So that we can, because otherwise we can't demolish the house, because
Got it.
obviously there's a
Okay.
mortgage. So we
Yeah.
had to move the mortgage. We had to find enough properties, because this house was like €1 million house. Like, it's
Yeah.
not. We're not talking about like,
Got it.
something small. So it was pretty tough to find enough properties and find, so
Yep.
we got this done. We arranged that with the bank, and then, we decided to, take this huge bet, where the way I actually did it is because we did not have the capacity to. First off, I did not want to actually take another mortgage on the development that we were about to build, because I knew that in the process of actually marketing and selling this building after that, one of the key differences between what we were doing and what we were going to be selling and everyone else, I wanted to make sure that we are actually different by the fact that our apartment building is not owned by the bank. We are the owners, and people, whenever they come and buy from us, they're not buying a mortgaged development, right? That ultimately the first lien on the apartment building complex is the bank, and if we fail and we don't complete it, then the bank takes its
Takes it
share,
away.
and then the buyer is left like just going and chasing for his money, right? So ultimately, what I wanted to do, I wanted to make sure I find the funds and finance the whole thing myself, right? Which was pretty challenging because we're talking about like 2.4 million euros, right? So it's a lot of money. And obviously I did not have all the money myself, right? I had, savings and stuff like that, but I actually went on and I took on a lot of personal debt because I had a lot of very high income at that time for the local standards here, right? So I found a loop in the banking system here where, you're actually able to take on, because usually you take on one personal loan, just to clarify this, because people, probably be interesting. That's why I'm clarifying it. So if you take one loan, personal loan, it's because it's, it's without any guarantees, right? You just, your income is the guarantee. Like there's no,
collateral.
I forgot. Collateral. Yeah, my bad. I forgot it. So there's no collateral. So actually when you take one, max two, and then when you go and apply for a third one, they see it in the register and they say, no, man, you're good. But I actually found the loop that I learned that they update the system. Okay, the credit register system, they update it on the 20th of every month. Okay, so I actually went and I got 8 of those, right? In a matter of
2 days or something.
Two or 3 days, yeah. And I'm proud of that, and I don't think there's nothing,
No, that's creative.
I don't care, because I thought about it and I figured that the interest rates were pretty low, like 4%, 4.5% at that time for a personal loan. They were low, right? And I was like, man, I mean, I don't care basically about this, because I know that the banks ultimately they want to lend the money at this interest rate. That's what
no, you don't have to explain it. So you got the money. So I'm trying to figure this out, Steven. So you got this beautiful 500 square meter house, your dad's dream house.
Yeah.
You demolish it.
We all move out.
Yeah. You build a brand new apartment. Why not just find a different piece of property to build the apartment on? Why demolish the house?
Well, because we didn't have the money to buy another piece of property, man. Right. Okay. So we were in a tough spot.
Got it. Okay.
I'm telling you, it was quite.
Well, you're obviously a smart guy. You looked at all the different angles, and that was okay. So you moved out, you demolished this thing, your beautiful home. That must have been a sad day for your dad.
Man, he moved with me. I moved out first, right? And obviously I rented a place, and then he rented another place, which was very close to the house where we were, going to have the development. And then while they were demolishing the house, he moved in with me. He was like, I cannot watch this, man. I'm just gonna I can't watch it.
So, all right. No, okay. So perfect. Let's fast forward a little bit here. So how long did it take you to build the apartment building? Did you have enough money from all these creative loans that you got that you're able to pay all cash?
No, I actually had enough money to get it started, right? Okay. And I really wanted to make sure I have the right selling process, the right marketing, and the right advertising processes in place.
To what? To sell the apartments?
To actually sell apartments.
So in North America, we almost might call that a condominium type complex, because does each apartment have its own title? That's how you can sell them? Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. Got it. I understand. Yeah. Perfect.
So basically I was relying on the selling of the properties, of the individual apartments throughout the construction process in order to continue to fund.
So you were building it in phases, and you build a few apartments, sell them.
I was building nonstop. We were not stop. We did not stop for a single day, even during COVID, which I'm really proud of, because everyone else stopped. Everyone got shut. We didn't stop. We kept on building, kept on selling. Thanks to the system that I actually developed. All right, which was, obviously we had specific marketing assets in place, specific automations in place. We built a website. We built many different things that, CRM for all the leads coming in, many things that were not actually available here locally. No one was using them, but
Yeah.
I felt that we had no other options.
Good. So you dialed in the marketing. So how long did it
Yeah.
take you to build those 26 units?
Well, actually, we officially started in December 2017, which was so January 2018. We
Yep.
took the last permit for the
So
completion
you
of the
started
entire
January 2018. When did you finish?
2021 in March.
Okay. So about 2.5 years.
Yep.
Yep.
And yeah, and it was man, it was some of throughout this whole period, like we had moments where, because construction is construction, like the
Yeah.
bills, I was making a lot of money at that time. Thankfully, God was with me and helping me out with that in terms of, because if I was not making right enough from where I was working, there would be months where, I mean, there's no sale this month. So how am I supposed to pay
Right.
250,000 a bill for the next floor, or whatever it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. For sure.
Some of my friends were actually joking. They were like, "Man, you are the only person I know who is actually building a building on salary because I was working, and then putting everything I had in it." And I think the main thing that made a difference here, and is, I think I give a lot of the success we had too, is that we had no way back. I
Yeah.
mean, there was
You you
nothing.
burned your boats, they say, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
hey, so Steven, fantastic story. At the end of the day, you had this 26 unit building.
Mm-hmm.
How many of the units did you sell? How many did you keep?
I kept 4,
Uh-huh.
and then I sold 22.
Nice. All right. So when the smoke cleared, you've got this nice building where your dad's beautiful house used to be, but you got a nice new apartment
Same
building.
place. We're right here, right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I hope your dad's okay with it. I hope is he living in the building now?
Yeah, he's right next to me, on the other side.
Nice. So you got the 4-family little compound, the 4-family apartments there.
Yeah.
You've got 22 neighbors. So with all of that, obviously you paid off the build. Were you able to pay down or pay off the other mortgage
everything,
as well?
man. Everything.
Nice. Congratulations.
Everything. I paid off absolutely everything. I get, we have 4 large apartments, like 150 square meters each. So we're talking about like large apartments, right? Yep. That we decided to keep. Obviously, one for myself, one for my father, one for my sister, and one for my grandmother.
Nice.
Right.
Beautiful.
And then we paid everything off. I paid everything from my personal debts that I took, which was on top of everything else, obviously. And then, no mortgage, no payments, nothing.
Congratulations. Cool. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So are you planning to do anything more like that moving ahead?
Yeah.
Or what are you doing?
For sure. Well, actually, just to quickly throw that in, due to the system that I developed throughout this entire construction process, I actually found out that there are many people in Bulgaria that need that same system in terms of investors, developers. And I actually built a, business development optimization automation company that actually specializes to help real estate companies, right, and help them to find, close, retain more clients, and do it in a lot more efficient way than what they're used to. So I have a lot of connections, a lot of people I know here locally, and obviously I am definitely planning on doing a lot more in the future. However, due to my finance background, I know very well where we headed at the moment from the macroeconomic perspective. Lots of geopolitical tensions as well. We were actually planning on actually starting another project last year, but I decided to cancel that because of way too much uncertainty, especially here in Eastern Europe. What's happening. And so it's not like I didn't want for us to make the biggest mistake, which is, you just get out of one problem, you just get out of it, and then boom,
create a new one.
Next one.
Hey, well, you know what? Smart move. So you're going to kind of sit on things for a while. You're going to focus on the other business that you've created from this whole experience.
Yeah.
So now you're providing value to other folks in the real estate field in Bulgaria. That is brilliant. Steven, this has been a lot of fun. Congratulations. If our listeners would like to connect with you,
what
should they do?
Well, they can find me on social media, Steven Petrov. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn as well. So they can find me anywhere. And I'm constantly trying to share useful content across all social media platforms to, help people and motivate them, actually, because I feel that people have a lot more in them than they think they do. And
which I think you proved to yourself, right?
Yeah. When you push yourself and you put yourself in a situation where, the only direction is forward and you don't look back, you can accomplish tremendous things.
Well said. Well, hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
Sure your father is very, very proud of you, and you are a very, very good son. So hats off to you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And once again, thank you for inviting me over. I really hope, that was interesting to you and to your audience as well.
It certainly was. All right, everybody, take care. We'll talk to you on the next episode.